Hey, welcome to Good Enough Painting. Dungeons & Dragons, the world's most popular tabletop RPG. Tons of people play from all over the world, different backgrounds, lifestyles, and I'm not excluded. Out of all the ways that I've played, my favorite is and will always probably be Theater of the Mind. Which seems out of place for a miniature painting channel, am I right? Well, I have a way to meet players and or DMs that like playing with miniatures halfway. This little diorama is roughly 10 to 15 millimeter scale and serves as point of reference for all the players. Be it a ruined watchtower you had to spend the night at and unfortunately were attacked by some fearsome hobgoblins. A shrine to a mysterious deity granting you a boon at the cost of something you hold dear. Or the classic riddles from a Bridgekeeper scenario. With these 12-inch wood discs, we create microworlds with visual, realistic reference for our players to get fully immersed in. And the potential reusability we create, having multiple features present, really sends the value in this for me. And for those that still want some minis to move around, 10 to 15 millimeter scale minis are more present in the marketplace than ever. And really easy to paint, so if you're looking for something to put down on the tabletop tonight, I got you. Grab your hot glue, paint, and some styrofoam, and let's get world building. This whole build is pretty much 5 things: the wood disc, foam board, drywall filler, paint, and embellishments. In my case, 3D prints. First thing I did was take my piece of foam board and cut it down to size. I had a general layout in my head and I kind of just went with it. Then attempted to glue my first piece down, and since I'm using this awesome low heat hot glue gun, I had to cut them into separate pieces and lock everything down that way. All the seams will be covered, so you don't have to worry about that. Taking some offcuts, I glued these down in random places and just added a little bit more visual interest. Now that everything was firmly in place, I came in with my drywall filler. This was my first time using this stuff, and I kind of just went all over with it. No rhyme or reason, just letting the creative energy out. Oh yeah, and this stuff says that it contains chemicals, so take proper precautions. Wear a mask, gloves, what have you. I then found my final resting place for all my little embellishments, and a happy little tree right there. Using some bits of cork, I glued them in places I thought rubble from my buildings would have fallen over from and collected. I then spread some ballast and white glue in the same general areas as the bits of cork, acting as small stones. Time for paint, and as you can see, I'm trying to be fancy and I use my airbrush to get this really nice zenithal highlight. I gloriously spill a nice glob of white paint right in the center. It doesn't matter in the end, so I can recommend that you skip this step. I applied some inks just to add a little bit more color to the piece. I used red and 2 shades of brown, one dark, one light. Using a generous amount of black-brown mixture, I painted all the cork and ballast areas. Using a nice blue, I base coated and highlighted the water area, and then painted all the ground level in a light brown. Only only to decide that that's not how water actually looks from that high. So I mixed in a healthy amount of green into my blue mix, and then applied that all over the top, and it dried like a dream. To tie the whole paint job together, I gave the whole piece a dry brushing of khaki, and this is whenever I really thought I had something going here. For flocking, I have 4 that I'm using today. This True Green, an autumn mix that I'm using to add just a little bit of color, the spring mix with these little yellow flowers, and then these bushy ones to really hide the scents. Since I didn't get any good footage of my original piece, I just made this backup to show you the application of the flock. Put a bit of glue down, spread it out with a wet brush, and then flock generously. And that's all there is to it. Thank you for making it to the end. If you enjoyed the content, you want to see more, leave an idea down in the comments. With that said, like always, you don't have to be perfect, just good enough. See you next time.